problem is the people you work for won't give us the documents so we can fully understand that. Just as the people you work for won't answer a simple question to the Ways and Means Committee, which is how many people have signed up, even under a subpoena. With that, I recognize the ranking member to try to rehabilitate your testimony.
Mr. Chairman, let me be clear that we have staff who work just as hard as yours. It's not about self-serving. It's about getting to the truth. And I would not insult your staff. And
I wasn't insulting your staff.
Well, I take it as an insult.
All right, folks, welcome to the Steve Malzberg Show. Glad you're aboard on this Wednesday. A little scene between the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Darrell Issa, and Elijah Cummings, the ranking member, Democrat, of course, and they had the hearings to try to get to the bottom of, the fiasco that is Obamacare. And sitting prominently on that committee is Congressman Trey Gowdy, Republican from South Carolina, who joins us right now. Hello, Congressman.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for taking the time. I know it's a very busy day. So my takeaway is the headline is, I guess we learned that the website will not be ready for everybody to use on November 30th, as the president again promised. I think we got that from Todd Park, the White House Chief Technology Officer. Is that what you got out of today? And what else did I miss?
Well, you didn't miss much because there wasn't much new, and that is not to indicate that we should not have had the hearing. It just the answers aren't forthcoming. If you can get it fixed by November 30th, which would be 2 months after it launched, why didn't you get it fixed for the 30 months prior to its launch? I mean, if you can really fix this in 2 months, why are you having to fix it? Why didn't you bring in Todd Park a year ago?
Right.
The money is a separate issue. The security is a separate issue. I thought Pat Meehan from Pennsylvania asked a great question about background checks for the navigators. Do you really want felons taking your personal information? I'll go out on a limb and say most people don't. Those are separate. The enrollment numbers are coming out this afternoon for over $500 million. Okay, for over $500 million. I just think we deserved a little better product than what we saw on October the 1st.
Well, absolutely. And, of course, Karen Evans, the former administrator for information technology at the Office of Management and Budget, testified before your committee today, saying that, the decisions made by policy officials within the administration, they're to blame.
Well, heavens knows it wasn't the law. I mean, I asked Todd Park, and in the interest of full disclosure, he's a whole lot smarter than I am. But he also can't cite for me. I mean, Kathleen Sebelius, remember, during the shutdown, she never misses a chance to politicize anything. She blamed this abysmal rollout on a law that required her to go on October the 1st, and she said, I wish we had done more testing. Well, Madam Sebelius, there is no law that required you to go on October the 1st. That was a political decision that you made to do it because heavens knows you did not want to concede that the Republicans were right, that maybe we might want to delay this a little bit. So she picked that date, and I think they sacrificed security. They certainly sacrificed volume so they could meet this arbitrary date. They put politics over the best interest of the people, and now they're reaping the results of that.
Well, Congressman, you said that the answers weren't forthcoming. What would you like to have had the access to today, or what answers would you like to have gotten that you did not get?
I'd love another chance to visit with Kathleen Sebelius. I haven't had a chance to visit with her for about 2 years. She came before an Education and Workforce Committee hearing.
Right.
I'm not on the committee. She's testified beforehand. 5 minutes in the interest of total candor is not very long.
What might you ask her, sir? What might you ask her if you had her for 5 minutes?
Why did you launch on October the 1st when the entire world knows you weren't ready? Why did you launch when there were security warnings telling you not to launch? What did we get for the first $600 million? How much more are we going to have to spend? Where was Todd Park? Was he in witness protection? Well, why didn't you have him prior to the train running off the track?
Great questions. I would love to hear the answers to those questions. We're talking to Congressman Trey Gowdy of Republican South Carolina from the House Oversight Committee. They held hearings today. What's the next step in this?
I think the next shoe to drop, of course, this afternoon, the enrollment numbers are going to come out.
Yeah.
And my guess is there will be more people watching the South Carolina-Florida football game on Saturday in the stadium than have enrolled.
That's a pretty good guess, yeah.
There's going to be that, and we're going to continue to talk about capacity, how they possibly could have been surprised that people would visit a website that they were required by law to visit. But security is going to be the next shoe to drop. I mean, we're about to embark on the holiday season where lots and lots of people are going to make purchases over the Internet. And they have a lot of at least I do, when I go to Amazon or eBay, I have a certain amount of expectation that my information is going to be secure.
Right. And would you shop on those websites if they told you, as a matter of policy, yeah, we might have convicted felons viewing your information?
I'll give you a one-word answer, no, because my mom might be listening, and I won't give you the other two-word answer, no. And there's no law requiring me to go to Amazon. I can always go to the mall. There's a law requiring people to do this. I guess they could go to the mail if they want to get, health insurance a couple hundred years after they die. They could do the mail route. But we're in an internet, thanks to Al Gore, we're in an internet website age.
All right, let me ask you, Congressman. The Democrats are ticked off at the president because of the insurance policies that are being canceled. They reportedly, I should say, I guess, went to the White House today, met with administration officials and said, look, we're giving you till Friday to fix this, or we're going to vote along with the House Republicans on a bill that says you could extend the current policy you have for another year. Now, what good it's going to do to the people who already had the policies canceled, I don't know. But are you guys moving ahead with that bill on Friday? And do you hope that will be some kind of solution to this?
That depends on whether or not the Senate wakes up from its nap and votes on it, which doesn't always happen in this town. It's one of these moral dilemmas where, on the one hand, elections have consequences, and this is what the people voted for. By the same token, when people are suffering and it's through no fault of their own, you want to help them. The Democrats aren't in a bind, but you know what? There are consequences, just like there are consequences for elections. There are consequences for repeating a demonstrably false statement that was calculated to deceive.
You guys offered them to fix it a few weeks ago.
And we were called arsonists and terrorists.
Right. Kidnappers, hostage takers, absolutely. All right, one more for you real quick. We got less than 2 minutes left, and that is, I don't want to throw you a curve here, but John Boehner said today, comprehensive immigration reform off the table. No way they're going to go to a conference on the Senate bill. You don't even have enough days left this year to probably even go piecemeal with anything. I mean, I'm glad, because I think, this radical immigration reform is just a lose-lose for Republicans, and I don't know why every one of them don't realize it, but what's your take on that?
Well, we had another hearing today on the entry-exit system, which was mandated by law that it be biometric 17 years ago, and here we sit and it hasn't been done yet. I think that there are folks who are open-minded to certain components, not a comprehensive bill, which, by the way, is Latin for lots of really bad things. But there are people who are open to fixing the guest worker program. They're open to fixing you shouldn't be open to fixing border, but there's an open-mindedness with respect to certain components, but only if you trust the administration. And if you were told 17 years ago to do something and you haven't done it yet, there's not going to be a lot of trust. So I think the speaker's right. It's not there's not the inertia to do it this year. There are certain components. For instance, it's not a crime to overstay a visa. A lot of your listeners probably did not realize that, and they would probably think it ought to be.
Well, we'll look for all that next year. Congressman, great to talk to you, sir,
Likewise.
And thank you. I hope you'll come back.
Yes, sir. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Congressman Trey Gowdy, ladies and gentlemen, Republican South Carolina. We're coming back. Hey, you know what today's date is, or both? We'll tell you when we come back on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.